Well, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. This is part 8 of the Mustang restoration project. I'm just about done with the car. I think 1 or 2 more weekends and we'll be done with it. So this weekend, I'm going to focus on the interior, trying to get all that put together. There's quite a bit of stuff in this restoration. I'm going to go through all that with you. And then I think I can get this knocked out in the next couple of weeks and then wrapped up this entire project. Okay, so let's start out with these handles. The top piece gets really bad. It gets deteriorated over time, but the remaining of the handle is fine. So I went ahead and replaced just the top piece, and they're really easy to replace. There's 4 screws. You unscrew them and then put the new one on. You can get these from LMR for fairly inexpensive. So instead of replacing the whole handle, I just went ahead and do that to both of these pieces. And then I just use Armor to spray on them, clean them up. So they look fairly decent. So that's a really easy project to tackle. And then let's take a look at the next thing that I need to get done. So these door panel seen better days. Now you can either restore them or you can get a pair of new one for about $500. So I chose to just restore them. I don't want to spend $500 for just door panels. So these definitely seen better days. These are peeling off. So my plan is just to remove this piece right here. And I do have some new leather that or similar leathers that I can just use and then reglue them and then put them back on. So that's no big deal. So I'm gonna try to remove that. Everything else seems like it can be cleaned up. Now this weather strip, there's a replacement piece that I'm gonna put on. So these came in with an entire kit for weather strip, for external and internal weather strip. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that and save my money since this already came in with a kit. Now to get that other panel that I was showing you on the other side, all you need is just like flatten to turn this thing 90 degrees, which I already did. You can see it's retained by just like, you know, flatten this down to retain. So you flip them all up and then push them out of the way and replace that. So this clips gets really bad, so they're all like stripped. I'm gonna go ahead and get new clips so I can push it back on, and that's just about it. Now these are kind of pain to remove. I already did the other side, and what I had to do was I stick a screwdriver in between these right here and just pry them loose. You can see that it's been stapled on, but I don't know what kind of staple Ford used. It went through 2 layers of steel. So this has a steel, I think it's like maybe 22 gauge or something. Same thing on this, and the staple goes right through. Let's see, you can see in the back. Let's see here. You can't quite see it, but the staple go right through, and they staple them in multiple places. You can see them all over, like the staple there. So I didn't do it. Just what I had to do was just stick a screwdriver in there and just try to get the staple to come out. Now, to put it back in, I'm not going to go and spend money to buy a really heavy-duty stapler. I just like drill. I use this self-tapping screw, and then I just want to make sure that the hole on here is a little bit bigger than the hole down here, because these are pretty thick metal, and I was able to just go through and screw it on. You're not going to see it because this is towards the inside. This is what wiping the glass. So I put a bunch of screws on. It worked just fine, and then it become a little bit too long, so I just use a Dremel tool to cut it. I'll show you the process when I get to this point. Okay, so I get this piece removed, and when you get this to straighten out, you can just lift it up, and this look like this. So these definitely seen better days, and all I did was just it's been stapled in the back, so you can just like rip that right out. And then I'm just gonna put some new leather on here. So let's set this aside. What's remaining is this piece right here. And all I really need to do is just clean them up real good. And it should be good now. This piece right here, and the weather strip's getting pretty rough. All these years of abuse. So I'm going to be replacing this. And as I mentioned before, what you need to do is just stick a screwdriver in here in between the two pieces of metal, and you just kind of just pry it out. And you definitely you're gonna damage the weather strip, but that's okay. Okay, so it's quite tricky to get the staples off. It looks like that, but it's extremely hard to get them out. So I'm gonna show you a good way to do it. So first, you stick a screwdriver on one side of the staple, and you kind of lift it up, just like that. And then you go to the other side, and you got to do between the two pieces. These has the metal in the middle. So then you go to the other side and grind that, and then it's still not going to come out, but your screwdriver is going to go through the middle of the staple. Let's see if I can get down here and look at it. Okay, so when you get in the middle, just use the hammer, kind of just hit it a little bit, and it's going to come in between the stapler, and then that way you can apply a lot more force to get it out. You see that? And then it comes right out. Like I said, this piece is going to get damaged. It's okay as long as you save the bottom, keep that straight. Should be good. If you bend it a little bit, you can use a vice grip, kind of just keep things straightened out. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the staples out. All right, guys. So this looks like this by the time I was done with it. This is fine because I have a replacement piece. Now you can see these are not damaged much at all. Like what's in here doesn't matter. As long as the edge is not damaged, it's going to be covered by the new piece. So I'm going to go ahead and get a new piece on. Okay, so as you can see, I pre-drill all these holes with a drill bit that's slightly larger than this self-tapping screw. So I can clear that and then drill and tap into what's below. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So it's kind of lined up something like this. So this edge kind of lined up. And so yeah, it's gonna look like that. So I'm gonna start drilling the holes. I'll put the screws on. So you can see that the self-tapping screw gets in pretty far, and you have to keep this area clear because this is going to go on top of your one of your door pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Dremel tool and trim this back, just so it only sticks out about 1/16 of an inch or something like that. That should be fine. Okay, you can see that I trimmed it real good back there with a Dremel cutting tool. So that's the top of the screw and that's the inside. So you can see it's only about 1/16 of an inch or something, but it's still holding really well. It's not going to go anywhere. So the top looking really good. There you go. So that's the new weather strip that's going to wipe the window glass. And so this will rub right off. So I'm going to do another cleaning coat after this. But I say this panel is worth saving, considering paying $500 for a new set. Okay, so what I'm gonna work on next is this side piece. They call it the map pocket or something like that back in the 90s, where you really don't have navigation. So this piece is designed to just, you know, secure into your panel, your interior panel or door panel by these pins right here. So the leather has been peeled off, and because it's been so many years, so I have some leftover leather. I know this color doesn't match with the interior, but this seems like a pretty cool color, and I'm not gonna go spend money to buy leather just to match for this little piece. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm happy with it. I love that color. So anyway, the process is quite simple. I've done this before with stereo system. It's super simple. So you just cut the leather to size, make sure you have enough room to fold it over, and you stretch everything out, and then you staple it. But before that, you spray with the adhesive. And this is what I use. This works really well. You can get them at Home Depot, or you can go to Amazon and get them. The 3M Super 77, this works really well. You just spray all over, and let it become tacky, and then you fold it over. So I'm gonna get my glasses, and then I'm gonna start spraying. Well guys, here it is. Doesn't look too bad at all. There's a little bit of air bubbles here and there, so you know, you kind of just have to rub it out while it's drying. Come back in an hour or two, and then just trying to flatten it again. It should be completely flat by the time it's dried up. So I'm really happy with it. I spent about 20 minutes, but I saved, I think, like $60 or $70 to get a new one of these. So not too bad at all. All right, so this panel is ready to go back to the car. And what I've done was I put in this new clips. The old clips is all stripped down. They're pretty bad. Good thing is they make reproduction, and it's fairly inexpensive. I got them for like $8 or something for the entire set, which is really nice. And the front look like this. Not too bad at all, guys. I know the color doesn't match very well, but at this point I'm just looking for a nice and clean install. This is not supposed to be a show vehicle. I'm fine with that for now. If somebody's picky, they can do their own things later when I decide to sell the car. Okay, so I got the panel back on. To get it on, it's super simple. You just, you know, load it at the top first, push it in, push it down. It snaps right in. You see that's the new piece I just got in. And then you can just push in, get all the snaps come in. I ended up putting a couple of bolts down there because the snap-on doesn't quite fit. This is an older panel, so things move over the years. So the next thing I'm going to do is put this piece back. This is the arm that that you're going to be opening and closing the door. So there's a couple of electronic plugs, so you're going to plug it in. There's 4 screws. There's one there, one up here, one down here, and then another one up there. Push it in, plug it in, bolt it on. Right, so the panel goes on, the handle goes on, everything's working. The windows switches are working, it's going up and down. I just tested. At this point, I'm gonna move forward and trying to finish up the car. At some point, I'll go in and deep clean with ammo and all that. There's still some handprints, fingerprints you can see on the panel, but those can be cleaned out. And then at some point in the future, if I decide to invest more money into the car, I probably can just get a new pair of panels. They're around $500 or $600. So we'll do that at a later time, but at this point I can go ahead and start driving the car. I still gotta do the other side. It won't take long to get that side done. And then interior pretty much complete. I need to do a deep clean on the seat belts. It's seen better days. Okay, so I'm putting finished touches on little things here and there. You can see that the inner fender well, I sprayed with another coat of truck bed coating. These Raptors are really nice, and these are very durable. They come pretty hard when it's dry. So I just spray a coat of it in here. Just be careful, don't get it on your paint. It doesn't, the overspray is kind of heavy, so it's settled down. It doesn't get on your paint, but just be careful with it. So I spray both sides with these. And then let's see, what else did I do? I painted the caliper. So I decided to go with lime green. It should look really good with the black color. So I painted like 4 or 5 different coats, make sure it's nice and thick. And then let me show you what I've done with the rest of the stuff. So for the wheels, I took the advice from one of the viewers who was saying that I should put in some clear coat on top of the aluminum just to keep it from oxidizing. So that's what I did. I sprayed like 4 or 5 different coats on these. Been sitting here all day. I'm letting it dry. And then the tires are coming in the morning, so I'll take that to the tire shop and have the new tires put on. Now the paint should be completely dry by tomorrow, but it's not hard just yet. It takes like a week to get hardened. So I'm debating whether I should wait or just go for it and then, you know, try to fix a little problem here and there after they put the tires on. I just really want to get this project done. And then this is the rear spoiler that I was talking about earlier. It's just a nightmare to deal with these, but you can see it turned out real nice. The crack was over there. Now the crack is gone. I went through several sanding and bonded it up a little bit, sent it back down, high build primer, and then put a base, and then 4 or 5 coats of clear. So this thing is like, it's got a pretty thick layer of clear coat on it. So tomorrow I'm gonna wait for that to dry, and then I'm gonna have to black sand it down the clear coat, and then we'll mount it to the car this time. Then we'll polish it, and that should be it. Well, the weather in Texas is getting really nice now, guys. It's 70 degrees today, and the rest of the week is going to be in the mid 70s. Awesome. This is the time where I save all my vacation days. I'm going to stay home and work on the cars and just enjoying life. So that's what I did. I took this entire week off just to stay home and get some of the car project done. And then I'm going to be off again next week, Thanksgiving and all of that. So I use the rest of my vacation for that. So I look forward to get a lot more work done. By the end of next week, this Mustang must be done because I really need to get on with the Humvee walkout project. That's the project I really want to get finished. So we'll push this towards the finish line. Be sure to catch another episode towards the end of the week where I wrapped up this project. Hopefully we get the wheels on and all little things done. So by this weekend, I might just have this entire thing done. We'll see. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.